Hey, and welcome to the Trippin' Stone Podcast, a podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
I'm Kyle.
Kyle.
Hey, man.
You know what? Before we get started this week, I want to invite everyone to grab a glass and have a pour along with us.
Absolutely.
Where maybe that glass is a glass of your favorite whiskey.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be a pint of your favorite beer.
Indeed.
It could be a steaming cup of tea.
Ooh.
Or a fresh pot of coffee.
Indeed.
Or just grab
mayonnaise. If that's what you're into, whatever's going to make you feel comfortable.
Okay. I literally had a conversation with my dad yesterday about just, he said something very similar, oddly. And I was like, what are you doing? Just sticking a crazy straw into a jar of mayonnaise? He's like, yep. Like,
Indeed.
God, that's gross. Well, I mean, if that's your thing, you know, as long as you're enjoying yourself while listening to an episode of Trippin' Stone, I honestly don't care.
Yeah, comfort food is comfort food. Whatever makes you happy.
Sure. And we just want to say again, and we've done so for the last couple of episodes, hello, new friends, and welcome back, old friends.
Indeed.
Got a question for you.
What's that?
So I recently attended a Renaissance festival.
Oh.
Yeah, you've been to a Renaissance festival?
I have, yeah.
What are your general thoughts about a Ren Fair?
You know, I mean, it's funny how much, I feel like they've gotten a lot of play recently in pop culture.
Definitely.
A lot of TV shows or things like that kind of, you know, reference or have episodes where it takes place in a Ren Fair.
Yeah.
What was that one recently? Was it Loki?
No, well, that was at like the
season
World's
2?
Fair, I think.
Yeah.
Was it at a Ren's Fair?
Something.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Loki season 1?
But you're right. It is somehow more in the zeitgeist of popular culture.
Yeah. And like the role playing aspect of it.
Yeah. Ooh.
I don't know. I've only been to one ever, and it was when I was in high school. I don't really have much of a recollection of what went down at that event.
So I regularly attend Scottish festivals, and I thought it was going to be something like that. Yeah. And it was not. Different. It was more like, I think what you said, like the cosplay-y aspect.
Right.
I should have known that. And in the back of my head, I knew that. But I guess seeing it was just a totally different experience. I wasn't quite prepared for what I got.
I think it might have been Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye might have went to a Ren Fair.
Okay.
But anyway.
But that's not what I want to bring up.
Sure.
So at this Ren Fair, there was a pickle guy.
Okay.
And this guy
making his own pickles?
I thought so initially, and then I looked at his buckets of pickles, and dude was just buying pickles from somewhere. The pickles were fantastic. Huh. I want to say that ahead of time before I say what I'm going to say.
Okay.
But dude was just kind of like hanging out under an umbrella. He had a big barrel
of pickles.
Yeah, big barrel of pickles. Big barrel of ice, and
everybody just reaching in, grabbing them.
Basically, he was screaming at the top of his lungs. Ice cold pickles. The dude was doing the thing.
Yeah,
it was actually really great.
Yep.
I love me a pickle.
Sure.
How do you feel about pickles?
Yeah. They're there.
Okay. Listen.
I'm not like a whoo.
Yeah.
I got to get one of them pickles.
Sure.
But I know some people are.
I'm not that.
I was never that kid at the roller skating rink that got the pickle juice shots.
Yeah. No, I never did that either. No. But I was the kid that was like, that pickle's you put Kool-Aid in that pickle jar? Huh. Why is that pickle pink? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll try that.
Nah.
No, that's not.
I know what you're talking about, but
okay. Nah. Listen, I love me a good pickle, but I'm not like, I don't need a pickle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know if in your hometown, in your corner gas station, you had that just dubious jar of pickles on the counter, and people
absolutely,
were like, yeah. No, I ain't doing that.
Never did the pickle in a bag. Never did that.
No, I never did that either.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
You can still get them. They're all over the place still.
It's like
never been my jam.
Half a bag of pickle juice.
Yeah.
Next to the pick feet.
Yeah, even
pickled eggs,
pickle flavored stuff. I'm not usually there for it.
Well, I mean, we got some
salt and vinegar. I love. I'll usually go for salt and vinegar.
We got some of that wicked pickle still on the shelf.
Yeah, we sure do. Yeah, 4 years strong, still sitting there. Haven't been touched.
Still there. Okay, all that to say, the actual experience.
Yeah.
The pickle was great. The kind of the interaction with the dude was great. Except this happened. I went over and I said, "Hey, how much for a pickle?" And he said $3. I was like, damn.
One pickle.
That's kind of an expensive. I mean, this was a good sized pickle. So I was like, damn, that's kind of an expensive pickle. I'm in. And then he's like, it's one of the best pickles you're ever going to have. I'm like, bullshit. Okay. But okay, you got me. So I hand him my $3 and he says, oh, it's $1 to tip. I didn't say, I said nothing in response.
$1 to tip.
$1 to tip. Yeah. He said, pickles $3. He, reaches in with his tongs. It was fairly, safe. Sure. Reaches in with his tongs, grabs a pickle, hands me the pickle, like no napkin, no nothing, whatever. Okay, I'm fine. This is Renaissance fair.
Sticks it in your mouth.
Right. $3. I hand him my $3, and as I kind of turn away, he goes, oh, it's $1 to tip. And I just keep on moving. So then I hear from behind me, somebody hands him $4, and he's like, oh yeah, you're way better than that guy who didn't tip. I didn't say anything, which me. That
don't push my buttons.
Oh my, I literally that was an act of some sort of higher power,
right?
For me not to turn around and be like, Then I thought about this, and I want your opinion.
Yeah.
That dude asked for a 33% tip.
Yeah.
Right? If my math is right.
Yeah.
He asked for $1.
Yeah.
And 33% tip.
Yeah.
Which I think is a pretty hefty tip, just in general. Like, sure, I get it.
Right.
But it was the manner in which he expected me to give him a tip because he said it's $1 to tip.
Right.
Thoughts?
Just make it $4.
Okay.
Just make the pickle $4.
Make the pickle $4.
If you feel like it's gonna hinder your business to make the pickle $4 to the point that you now have to do $3 plus tip,
yeah,
you're gonna have to expect to get 0 tip sometimes, because that's just the tendency of tipping.
Correct.
Occasionally, you're not gonna get a tip. It happens. So when that happens, don't be upset by it.
Okay. So I that was my thought process. I just want to see, am I, as someone who you deal regularly in the tipping world,
sure,
is my thought process sound? I'm not saying it's correct. Do I have a sound thought process here?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. This has been eating away at me for about a week.
Like when he said it the first go, you were automatically, I'm not tipping.
Yeah. Because why didn't you tell me it was $4? If you and I was in that, I guess maybe because I'm in this Ren Fair kind of thing. If you would have said it was $4, I'm going to give you $4 because I want your pickle.
Right. Whoa.
Now that I say that out loud. Because I want that pickle. That's no better.
I want that pickle.
Yeah. Okay.
Why would you say it's $1 to tip? I feel like that's a weird thing anyway. It would be, they're $3 and I accept tips.
Right.
They're only $3. Anything more than that, I'd really appreciate.
Right.
Something like that.
Which I think if he said it that way, I'd probably be more apt to be like, okay, here's $4.
Yeah.
But maybe it's in how he delivered that line.
Right.
Yeah, it's $3, but it's $1 to tip.
Which I think, for a lot of people that are in that world, it's all about presentation.
Sure.
And proper communication to make sure that both sides are understanding and going to leave the transaction fully informed. And hopefully that everybody's happy.
Right. Right.
So yeah, no, I totally see what you're saying. To just put it so bluntly that it's $1 to tip. That's just such a weird way to phrase it.
So, okay. Now I feel better, and I can actually sleep tonight. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I didn't know, again, because I wanted to come to you knowing your experience, and then I wanted to see if I was in the wrong or if I'm justified in my thought process.
Totally. You want to know what I would have done?
What would you have done?
I'd have given him the $1.
That's true.
Hands down. Wouldn't have skipped a beat.
You wouldn't even have thought about it.
I'd given him a 5, said keep it.
Well, that's
just me.
The people I
come from that culture.
Sure.
So I want that tip too.
Right.
So it's I feel like I got to take care of my own kind of a thing.
Okay, I get it. But you paid $5 for a pickle that he probably paid 30 cents for.
But he's also
pickling
trying to make a living.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And
he could have made an extra $1 off of me. He chose not to.
He phrased it wrong. He didn't know his clientele. In all non-joking, that is a huge part of it. You got to be able to read the guy, and which granted, in a 30-second interaction with a person, it's really kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, but if that's
what kind
your
of a person
job,
you are.
If that's what you do day in and day out, I feel like you'd be more adept at doing that.
Well, I bet day in and day out, he's come to realize that that's his best bet, is to be upfront and direct. And he's going to get more people to give him the $1 than not.
Oh.
Not everybody's adept to handling it anyway. That's just, I'm sure that's just the way that he's found
that's
it
his
works
default.
Best for him. Is to just be direct, say it up front, and more than not, I'm going to get it. And that's just going to be the type of person he is.
Unless you have an obstinate guy like me who's like,
I don't care.
Oh, yeah? You're lucky I don't spike this pickle into the ground in front of you just to spite you, even though I've paid my $3.
Say, hey, I dropped my pickle. I need another one.
You want to pick up my pickle for me? But what if I were to turn around and be like, bro, this pickle's shit?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you totally could have. Man, these are disgusting. Nobody buying. Like they're I saw him put his hand in that jar.
Yeah, he's yelling about pickles. I could be like,
his fingers when he's done. Each time.
Well, thank you for coming to Dreppenstone. No, that makes complete sense. And I think like I was just inexperienced and I just needed to come clean about it. I need to get some things off my chest. And I just want to see your opinion on it.
Yep.
And now that I have it, you want to drink something?
Yeah.
Well, guess what we're going to do?
Yeah.
You don't sound excited.
I'm okay with it. I'm interested. What are we doing, Nick?
Kyle, today.
It's that time of year.
Is that season?
I guess it's a season. Would you call Girl Scouts cookies a season?
Yeah, I think so. It's a Girl
season?
Scout cookie season. Oh, okay. Everyone's already read the title of the episode, Kyle.
Right. They know what we're doing.
You know what we're doing? Do you know what we're doing?
Yeah, we're trying to pair whiskey with Girl Scout cookies.
Absolutely.
That's
exactly
the attempt that we're going to try to do here.
Yeah, I love your
caution to the wind. We're just going to try to do it.
You're just not confident in this at all.
Well, I got to be honest. Like I've yet to really open up that aspect of my whiskey game of trying to start pairing whiskey with any food.
And that's exactly why I want to do this.
Okay.
Because as my journey develops and as I read more, as I listen to more people, I'm more interested in how does whiskey influence the flavors of other things as well. Because like we do this with wine, some people do this with beer, and there's a whole world that does this with whiskey as well.
Right.
Especially like when you go to, kind of the whiskey senders, if you will, Scotland, Ireland, Kentucky.
Central Florida.
Well, Dreppenstone, recording studios, right?
Right.
You generally find restaurants in that area and establishments cooking with or playing with those flavors and making dishes that could complement with whiskey. So I'm just interested in like, okay, there's clearly flavor notes here. What can we do with those flavor notes?
Right.
Being that it is the Girl Scout cookie season, these are readily available.
Right.
And,
they're all over the place right now.
These are from a friend of ours, longtime listener, friend of the show. And so here we go.
Yeah.
We've got Girl Scout cookies and we've got whiskey. Let's pair them together.
There we go.
All right. Before we started recording, you and I kind of talked through this a little bit, how we're going to work through this tasting.
Yeah.
And my thought process was this. We have, 6 different cookies.
Yeah.
6 different whiskeys.
Yeah.
And we looked up the tasting notes, if you will, of what Girl Scout says this cookie should taste like. These are the big notes in this cookie.
Right.
So what on the whiskey shelf here in the Whiskey Cave do we have that would pair with that flavor note?
Right.
So we've chosen whiskey that is pretty much readily available.
Yeah.
Because like
for the most part.
Yeah, we have stuff that's like, it's difficult to find.
Yeah.
All of this within, a little bit of variable, you can go find pretty easily.
Right.
And I think that was a choice on our part so that, the Dreppenstone listener can do this likewise. But it's not also crazy difficult to find whiskey. And it's not something that if you want to do a tasting like this, you're not going to break the bank.
Right. For sure. And I think, we kind of put together what we think, just looking at your collection, what we think is going to go well with these. And again, with whiskeys that are accessible. And, maybe we're right. And maybe we're way off.
Well, I think that would be fun. Like, okay, are we right? First of all. And if we're not right, if this doesn't work, what would work?
Right.
Because we have obviously a pantheon of whiskey knowledge.
Right.
Like, okay, whoa, nope, that doesn't work. Or it'd probably be better with something else.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm going with this of like, maybe we try it. Maybe that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But you'll have the understanding this is why it doesn't work and it would go better in this direction.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I like it.
Okay.
All right. So not that we have a particular order here, but
left to right makes sense to me.
Okay.
What's the cookie?
Well, the cookie, Kyle, is the Adventureful. This is an indulgent brownie-inspired cookie topped with caramel-flavored cream with a hint of sea salt.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at it, it's I'll kind of describe it. If you ever seen a Buckeye, like the candy Buckeye, it kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
Just in like flat.
But does a Buckeye have peanut butter?
Yeah, Buckeye has peanut butter. This does not have peanut butter.
Right.
Yeah, this is
I'm assuming these are like caramel.
Yeah. What are the
Bisques.
cookies? What are the cookies that like you find around Christmas where you take a Hershey's Kiss and you just in the middle? Kind of looks like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like a flattened version.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, flattened version of that. So what are we pairing it with?
All right, we've selected Buffalo Trace to pair with this.
Ooh.
What do you think's going to happen here?
I think we're going to put whiskey in the glass.
Yeah.
That's not what you mean, I know.
Like Buffalo Trace to me always kind of like has that little bit of a rye spice you know, on the back end of it. I feel like that would bounce away. Like I'm assuming this cookie is going to be very rich.
Yes.
You know,
Agreed.
brownie-ish, caramel, that sort of a thing.
Sea salt. Yeah.
I think that rye spice on the Buffalo Trace could cut that beautifully.
Agreed. And I feel like the caramel nature is going to be accentuated because you have the vanilla of, just your standard bourbon Buffalo Trace.
Right. And that's the kind of the tricky thing for me about pairing is that do you select items where you think, all right, this cookie has caramel in it. The Buffalo Trace has a caramel note to it.
Yeah.
Is one going to override the other?
I don't know.
I think that's the interesting thing about pairings.
And I think in this tasting, just because I know what's coming up, in this tasting, we actually sort of thought about that too.
Right.
So I'm really interested to see like what accentuates or what like mutes those flavors.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that was a poor cork pop. Oh, thank you. Hey, pour one for yourself.
Just a sploosh.
Did you spill?
My belly button was thirsty. All right.
I guess the more important question, do you sip the whiskey first and then eat the cookie? Or do you bite the cookie?
I think you nibble the cookie.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
I think you nibble the cookie, sip a whiskey, then go back for like a more full bite of cookie.
Gotcha. Okay. Have you had all of these cookies at some point?
At least some version of it.
Okay. I don't think I've ever had an Adventureful. All right, I'm going to take a nibble. That is more robust than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be chewy.
Well, I feel like I've learned that that doesn't happen in a Girl Scout cookie.
No, it does not.
Girl Scout cookies are never chewy. They're always crisp. They're more of like the biscuity kind of a cookie.
You know what this tastes like to me? It tastes like the bag fry. You're aware of the bag fry?
Nope.
You go to a fast food establishment, and there are fries in the bag that like fell out of the fry box.
Yep.
And those tend to like linger until like the end of the meal is not the right word, but you know what I mean.
5 minutes of
and then
consumption.
Then you're like, oh, bonus fry. And you take that bonus fry and you're like, that was a mistake. It doesn't taste good. Interesting.
Okay, now I'm going to sip.
Okay, sip.
Whiskey.
Yep. You didn't talk about the cookie.
Okay. All right. Flavor notes.
Yeah.
It's not like milk chocolate. It's more like cocoa-y. Like cocoa powdery.
like dark Dutch cocoa powder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Caramel?
Subtle notes of caramel.
Sea salt?
No sea salt.
Nah.
I didn't get any sea salt.
I don't see any sea salt on ours.
Yeah, I think that was a
Misnomer or something? Yeah. All right. Well.
Smells like a chocolatey biscuit kind of a thing.
Chocolatey biscuit.
Going to the nose on the whiskey.
Sure.
Certainly the caramel is not hidden.
No.
Caramel jumps right forward.
Yeah. That rye note though, like already on my palate, that's pushed forward.
Yeah, for sure.
It like I would say just taking a nibble taking a nibble of the cookie accentuates the cinnamony rye in the Buffalo Trace.
Agreed.
I actually find that quite delightful. We sipping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works out really well.
That's delightful.
It's interesting, like the oaky barrel note on the whiskey really kind of plays well with that kind of dull chocolatey cocoa.
Yes.
No, like they play together really well.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to go for a fuller bite.
Okay. Are we eating the whole thing? Because
I was going to go like half of what I got left.
Okay. That bite was way better.
Yeah, way more of a chocolatey, fudgy kind of a thing happening.
Yeah. All right, back to the whiskey. Hell yeah. I would say that the chocolate is a little more prominent now, but that cuts through really nicely for me.
Strangely for me, like I think the flavor of the cookie overwhelmed the whiskey. Like for me, like the whiskey almost disappeared.
Interesting. I still get that right note just cutting right through it. But I know what you're talking about. I can see that. It's that the chocolate note is definitely the overwhelming note now. All right. First one done. Thoughts?
It is interesting how they communicate.
Yeah.
Like for me, the sweetness in the cookie definitely takes out the sweetness in the whiskey for me. Like what I was left with was like just more of the bitter barrel influence. being the predominant on the drink. And that doesn't really surprise me, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
Something to contemplate.
Yeah. I agree.
Scale of 1 to 5. How well did that pair?
Ooh, I'm gonna say a 4 initially, and then a 2.5. Like, because that first like nibble and then whiskey, man, that was fantastic.
That's like the interesting thing. Like the nibble and sip worked out so much better than like full on
Agreed.
cookie and sip.
Even though like it wasn't as muted for me as it was for you, the nibble and sip was much better.
So, do you think something could have worked out better? Like, I'm kind of wondering, would an Irish have worked out better with that? Because now I'm like my whole argument there was like that the sweetness just got removed.
No, I'm going to tell you what would work out better. A scotch, but briny. A briny scotch with like,
scotch.
Like give me something like
a Talisker.
Oh, like a Talisker, maybe an Ardbeg.
Yeah.
Sometimes Ardbeg, you get some briny Ardbegs.
Corey reckon.
The Bunnahabhain
Stuart Ladeer.
Yeah. That has just a little bit of briny. Actually, no, that bottle's gone. I'm looking at the shelf. No, it's right there.
Stuart.
That actually might have worked out.
I agree. Like I'm thinking. I don't know. I would have ended up right about where you were too, about like 2.5, like somewhere right in the middle of like.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but what would have been better?
Yeah.
And like maybe like just something like with more punchy, something that could have gone through and cut through the sweetness.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe something more in the rye. You know, like we've got a big old rye up here, so maybe when we get over to that, that'll be the answer to everything.
Yeah. All right. Go on the next one.
Next one.
All right. So now we're going to go over to a pairing of the Bunnahabhain Toiteach Ada.
Toiteach Ada. It's the sound I make when I try to touch my toes too. You just hear it from the other room. What was that? That's Toiteach Ada.
And so we've got the Bunnahabhain Toiteach Ada.
Yep.
Which is slightly smoky. I'll give you my thoughts here. And what are we pairing it with?
We've got the Thin Mint.
Okay.
The classic.
Classic.
I feel like that is that the Girl Scout cookie? The Thin Mint?
For me, it is.
I feel like it is. I feel like that's the most widely known. It's crisp chocolate cookies dipped in delicious mint chocolatey coating.
I agree with that.
That makes sense.
Do you like your Thin Mint in the freezer?
I don't have enough history with any of these cookies to have a preference of how I take them.
Gotcha.
But that sounds wise.
I did actually not. I did not buy Girl Scout cookies this Girl Scout cookie season, but now after this tasting, I might.
You're right.
But normally my go-to and Carol's too is to throw your pack of Thin Mints in the freezer, and then you walk every time you walk by the freezer, it's just like a little little treat.
Like, hey,
yeah,
how you doing?
So you end up walking by the freezer a lot that day. All right, ready?
Yeah.
That's how you know it's a Bunnahabhain cork.
No pop, just a
boom. Did you take a sip?
Toiteach Ada. No, I just did a little nosing.
Okay.
I've got concerns.
Okay, so my thought process was this. Originally, I was going to go Thin Mint and rye.
Yep.
Because mint makes sense. But then everything I kind of like thought about is like, but what's going to cut through mint? And what might even accentuate mint? I think a peaty scotch. Not so peated. Like we could very easily, there's Lefroy over there. We could go peat.
Right.
But I feel like something a little bit malty, a little sweet, with just some nice peat in there. I think that's the pairing. Honestly, if I can be, completely transparent, this is the pairing I'm most interested in.
Okay.
And it could go sour real quick.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, we're gonna find out.
All right. So we do nibble.
Little nibble.
Come on. What's not to like? I'll tell you what's not to like. They're so thin that you're going to eat 15 of them.
They're thin mints.
But they're not like mint.
Sure.
They're like sweet mint.
I think I just realized the thing that makes the most sense about all of this is that they are like very much like English cookies.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, they're the crisps.
Yeah.
The biscuity that you always watch on British Bake Off.
Oh, dude, go to the nose. That makes...
I genuinely feel like that's like the more fun thing is like tasting this, but then nosing this.
That makes sense to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not because I want it to make sense, because I kind of do, but that makes sense. That, like, just minty sweetness and this beautiful Bunnahabhain. All right, I'm gonna eat half my cookie. Same kind of idea. I think it overwhelms the whiskey. But man, what's nice about the Bunnahabhain is that like just the peat of this, the Toiteach here also creates like a peppery note.
Yeah.
And like that stands out.
Yeah. I wasn't all the way to pepper, but you're right. That's what it is. Like I was thinking it's just like the ashiness of the peat.
Yeah.
Ashy kind of a smoke.
Yep.
But it does conjure more like towards pepper.
I quite like that actually. I think that's pretty good. I mean, it is combining two of my favorite things in terms of this pairing, I guess. Thin mint and Bunnahabhain. Not that I think I would ever like sit here and go like, man, drinking Bunnahabhain, I could go for a thin mint right now.
I got a good night planned out with 5 boxes of thin mints and a full bottle of Bunnahabhain.
How was your weekend? I want to talk about it.
Friday night was great. Saturday morning sucked.
and so did Sunday morning because like it lingered. A lot of sugar. Man, okay. For you, 1 out of 5.
I'd bump that one up to like 3.5.
Sure.
That one's definitely a more interesting pairing.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I like 3.5 because on the nose, this one, I'm going to say 3.5 for both. I think this pairing definitely works better, and it stands up a little bit more to the cookie. The whiskey stands up more to the cookie than the previous one did.
Right. I'm beginning to think, and I just realized it here on like that last bite, that I think we have the order backwards.
Uh-oh.
I think it might be better to sip the whiskey first
Okay.
and then go to the cookie.
Let's try it on the next one.
Because it definitely worked better here when I contemplated the flavor of the whiskey that was in my mouth and then took the bite. Because then that mint pop was so delightful.
Oh.
Instead of thinking about it in the reverse order. So I might try that going forward.
Yeah, I'm good with that. You want to move on to our next one?
Okay.
What is our next whiskey?
Next whiskey, it looks like it's perennial favorite
Ooh.
here at Dreppenstone.
Yeah.
Old Grandad 114.
Old Grandad 114.
Man, you've needed a reason to open that bottle.
I didn't need a reason, but now that I have one,
needed a reason. You've had that bottle for a while.
Twist my arm. Go ahead and open it. Why don't you?
Seriously, how long have you had this bottle?
Probably about, I'm going to say a year.
You've had it for a year?
Yeah, because remember, we bought like 3 bottles last time we bought it.
It is incredible now that I see it everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's all over the place.
You remember why we bought that many that time?
Because we didn't find it. Couldn't find it for
so
like
we
a
bought,
year.
I think literally we bought 3 each.
Oh, yeah. In Tampa.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew.
Fresh bottle pop. Wow, Grandad.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. What are we pairing the Old Grandad 114 with?
All right, we're pairing the Old Grandad 114 with the Do-si-do. Also, I don't know if you know this, but not all Girl Scout cookies are available in all regions of the U.S.
No kidding.
Yeah, there's like there's something about bakers here, bakers there. I'm not really actually sure how it all works, but this is the crunchy oatmeal sandwich cookie with a peanut butter filling.
Crunchy oatmeal.
Yeah.
Peanut butter filling.
So my thought process with this one was oatmeal, peanut butter.
Yeah.
Okay. Old Grandad can have a peanut butter note.
Sure, it usually does.
It almost always does. So my thought process was, let's see if it accentuates it.
Man, it's a lot of peanut butter on that nose.
Ooh.
On that cookie nose.
I'm going to rinse before we get into this.
Rinse and spit.
All right. So you're saying whiskey first.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
Try
gonna
whiskey first.
Because I'm not going to nibble the cookie. I'm going to smell the cookie.
Okay.
Peanut butter.
Heavy nut butter.
Yeah. Definitely.
Heavy on the nut butter.
All right. On the nose of the whiskey. Why have I waited so long to open this bottle?
Caramel bomb.
And then it undercuts with just that hint of peanut butter. But I think because I got a face full of peanut butter from this damn cookie, that it's not as prominent as it normally is for me.
Yeah, but that 114.
It cuts it.
Going right to the back of my nose.
Whew. Oh. Wake you up.
Make me cry a little bit.
Tears of joy.
Woo.
All right. So we're sipping the whiskey.
Sippy. And then go to the cookie.
Okay. So I'm not nibbling.
Uh-uh.
Okay.
I mean, I did for the video.
You're right. All right. Here we go.
I'm thinking whiskey first.
Oh, man. It's been too long.
There's that nut butter.
It is still prominent. Yeah, definitely. It's there.
Yeah, it's like halfway through. It just comes to the top. All right. Cookie.
That's gonna fail.
This bag was open.
The bag been open a minute. I mean, it is what it says it is. That is a oatmeal cookie
Ish.
with peanut butter sandwich between it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying like traditional oatmeal cookie.
Yeah, I feel like that's a travesty to call it that.
You doing a disservice to the oatmeal cookie?
Yeah, come on, man. Oatmeal cookie.
Oh, I love it. Oatmeal cookie. Ooh, do you
The
like
no bakes?
Oh,
Come on, man.
yeah. I like a frosted oatmeal cookie, man, or a oatmeal raisin cookie. I know you don't like raisins, but man, I love an oatmeal raisin cookie.
Remember the little Debbie's?
Yeah,
Little cream pies. That had
oatmeal cream pies. Yeah,
they had the,
fantastic. Terrible for you. Fantastic.
the raisins on top. Used to love those. I pick off the raisins.
I was gonna say. Oh, all right. I just went back to the whiskey.
You know, it's weird having so much sweetness and peanut butter specifically on your palate already, then going back to the whiskey. It's like, oh, there must be rye in old Grandad.
Yeah,
Because I can taste rye.
sure.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Because it masks every bit of the nuttiness and
Yeah.
everything else.
But I'm gonna say what really comes through is that 114.
Oh, yeah,
and
for
that I almost like think that if we had Buffalo Trace at 114, or even the Bunnahabhain at cask strength, like that's gonna like.
I mean, definitely. I remember thinking that on the Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Like higher proof would cut through the sweetness for sure.
Yeah. But it's interesting because old Grandad, I mean, that 114 is a sweet drink anyway.
Right.
But the proof of it is what kind of mitigates that sweet. So now what you have is the sweet of the cookie, then combating the sweet of the whiskey, and then you're left with 114.
Right.
Okay. Where's that rank for you?
The pairing,
Yeah.
that one I'm gonna say is at 3.5 or a 4. Like that
Yeah.
that one I think is the best one so far for me.
Okay.
I like that one.
I'm going to say a 3. As much as I like the Grandad, I'm thinking about in the 3 that we've already had, there was more interesting notes for me on the Bunnahabhain. But I will say that actually was the best whiskey experience of the 3 so far.
Right.
So like the whiskey stands out more, but I think the better pairing is still the Bunnahabhain. I'm going to give the 114
Right.
The 3 here.
Yeah. I think it's unfortunate. The higher proof is definitely
Sure.
unfair.
Yeah. No, well, I don't know about unfair.
I say unfair just in terms of like you're more able to really get the whiskey.
Sure.
It's not like how I said, like my first sip of that Buffalo Trace was watered down.
Yeah.
And almost like removed it completely.
Yeah.
Perhaps that cookie wasn't as sweet as that brownie thing was anyway.
Maybe.
So maybe that was part of it too.
I'm going to say the brownie thing, the Adventureful, was so much cocoa that like it just like that's what overwhelmed.
For sure.
Yeah. You want to go to the next one?
Moving on.
We're moving on to a Scotch. So we've gone bourbon, Scotch, bourbon, back to Scotch. This is probably the most rare of the whiskeys we have. You can find this. It's not what I would consider to be like a super difficult bottle to find, but it's kind of hard to find the Islay Barley from Bruichladdich, which is what this is.
Right.
I've seen, this is a 2011. I still have some of this left. I've seen the 2013. In fact, I recently just like passed up a bottle of the 2013. I can kind of, I know you've seen
I
it.
see those a fair bit. I feel like I see that more often than I see the Toiteach.
Yeah, I can agree with that. This is aged 6 years, and not a whole lot on the bottle here. There was more on the canister that's long gone at this point.
Yeah, the great thing about those Islay Barley ones are they get super nerdy.
Yeah.
On like where they're getting the grain and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It's a ton of fun.
I mean, we did this on a previous episode. The idea here is that it all comes from Islay.
Yeah.
And so the thought process is that, this kind of caramel, coconutty note, pairing it with what, if I remember correctly, kind of a fruitier Scotch, not something that's peated, and something from Bruichladdich, which we love.
Love a Bruichladdich.
So what are we pairing it with?
The Samoa.
Ooh, what's a Samoa?
The caramel delights.
In some parts of the world.
Yeah, they're known as caramel delights.
Okay.
Samoas.
Here, I prefer Samoa.
It's a crisp cookie with caramel, coconut, and chocolatey stripes.
It looks like a crisp cookie with caramel and coconut. Coconut?
Chocolatey stripes.
Okay.
First of all, I'll say that Samoas are my go-to
Oh,
in the Girl Scout cookie realm.
Sure.
Love me a Samoa.
Okay.
And like just thinking of the flavor profile, I thought like a more fruity, kind of like a Highland Scotch
Yeah.
would work really well with that.
Sure. Here we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Would you like a cookie?
Okay.
Here's your cookie. It's been a little while since I've had this. Oh man. Oh, I think that's a good call.
Oh, the honey.
That is like
That
honey,
man.
honey, fruity sweetness.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Better proof.
It's 100, right? Yeah.
It's actually got proof.
Yeah.
I think everything Broccoli does is right
Starts
around
it,
100.
yeah.
Good on them.
All right, man. I just get like peachy notes. You get peachy note?
Yeah, I can be convinced. to
Sure.
peach. Yeah, I'm going in for that one.
All right. Holy crap.
Isn't that crazy?
What a great bottle. All right. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah. I get a little bit of barrel note. I get a lot of sweet. I get a little bit of fruity note there too. Man, that's great.
Yeah, a lot of barrel bitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
The wood notes active. I think that's going to pair really well with this.
Okay. You ready then?
Okay.
All right. Nibble on the cookie.
You like coconut?
I do like coconut. I like toasted coconut.
For some reason, I'm on like a really big coconut kick right now.
That is fantastic cookie.
Yeah.
That's the best cookie we've had so far, and I really love Thin Mints.
I love the Samoa, man. That's my go-to.
Man,
Yep.
good job, Girl Scouts.
I feel like it holds moisture better.
I think so too.
You know, I think the coconut is able to keep a lot of that moisture in there.
Sure. All right.
So it's not just so grainy. I mean, it just shows you what, like, you know, what a well-crafted thing, like, it can still all hold up to it.
I'm laughing because we've both taken a sip and we're like, yeah. Wow. Dare I say, that is fantastic pairing. I know it's not even passed, but man, that totally works. What it does is it takes the coconut and it like accentuates the coconut, accentuates the chocolate, and then you get this like really lovely honey sweetness from the scotch here. Man.
But it's very much in the same way. Like, it still alters the scotch.
Definitely. It definitely does.
Like, it definitely makes the bitterness of the scotch more pronounced.
Sure.
Which is interesting, too. But because, like, the bitter here is so much more, I don't know, there's more depth to it.
Yeah.
That it's such an interesting conversation.
Well, and that's just it. Like, I was going to say, it needs to. To me, it needs to. Like, one needs to alter the other, and it has to in some way, because you're eating or ingesting these two different things. And like, if you just want the whiskey, obviously we just had the whiskey, but now you're right. It's an interesting conversation because the cookie alters the whiskey. To me, I don't know if better is the right word. I don't think it makes it better, but I think it brings out some really interesting notes here.
Right.
And I love that conversation.
Yeah. I feel like more so than anything else so far, like, these are really have a back and forth to them.
Yes.
Man, and what's good too is if you got a big enough pour, you do 2 or 3 sips between bites, because like that first sip after the bite, that bitterness does grab your attention.
Yeah.
But then like each sip afterwards, the sweetness comes back.
Sure.
Because I guess then it's like cleansing your palate at the same time. So then it opens back those flavor notes.
All right. Where are you going to rate this one?
That's definitely a 4, 4.5 for me.
I agree. I'm going to say 4.5, 4.75. Yeah, that is great.
Yeah, that's delicious.
Like it took us 4 bottles to get there, but wow,
That's really good.
that's a great pairing.
Yep.
So I wonder, like, okay, if you were a bottle shop,
Yep.
and you wanted to host something like this,
Yep.
you just like buy a package and like, okay, let's see what it does with this. Let's see what it does with this. Let's see what it does with this.
Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like a great Friday night. Yeah.
That's what I was like saying, like, you know, at the beginning of like, do we sip or do we bite the cookie and then look at the array and like, I wonder what it does with that and try to go there with it.
Sure.
That'd be too hard to do.
Oh yeah.
This way. But I feel like that would be fun. Of like,
Man.
if you took the Girl Scout cookies and you were going to do, all right, we did it.
Yeah.
We put them across
figured it out
everything,
for
and we
you.
know that this is the best thing to go with that.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have that kind of time.
No, that's a 3-hour episode right there.
Yeah. Easy. But speaking of time, you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. So what is our next whiskey, Kyle?
Next whiskey, I think, is chosen specifically because of the cookie.
Sure.
We're drinking Jameson.
Just regular straight Jameson.
Straight up Jameson.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've had straight up Jameson. Probably since last St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day? Yeah.
Or at least the episode that we did for St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
Was that last year or was that 2 years ago?
That was last year. Yeah. I don't have a whole lot out of this bottle. Not for any particular reason. Because it's solid. It's Jameson.
It's Jameson. It's good to have it for anybody that likes Irish whiskey or somebody that's like just wants to drink something and you don't really have,
Sure.
whatever they normally would like.
Or you want
Jameson's good to have there because
you want something friendly.
Friendly.
Yeah. It's on my recommendation for new whiskey drinkers. Hey, have you had Jameson?
Right.
Because like I'm not going to throw something like, like our friends W.D. O'Connell at them. Like as much as I love Dahi and I love W.D. O'Connell.
Yeah, well, no, first you got to earn that.
You got to earn it. Exactly. Get out of my head.
I don't really care if it's like, what you're wanting. You got to earn it.
Yeah. What is that bottle? No. You can't. Don't look at that bottle.
Look away from there. No.
You
ever had Jameson? I got some Jameson.
Let's start there. Do you like this? You don't? Okay, you ain't getting the W.D. O'Connell. Mm-hmm. Back up. Hey, do me a favor.
Yeah.
You want to pop that cork?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Big boy Jameson.
And we're pairing it with the Trefoil? Trefoil? Trefoils.
Triforce.
What? No. The Trefoil.
Yeah. Trifoil. Fiole.
But it's not like TRI. I think it's Trefoil.
Yeah. Trefoil.
Sure. You get 3 of them in every bite because you have to eat 3 of them. Anyway, this is the iconic shortbread cookie inspired by the original Girl Scout cookie recipe. So this is the quintessential Girl Scout cookie, if you will.
Cool.
I've never had one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyway, in presentation, it looks very much like any other shortbread cookie.
Yeah.
Like a Walker's.
What? Yeah. What's the Danish cookie too? The one that you get in the blue tins around Christmas.
Yep, those also.
Butter cookies. Oh, Walker's, man, I love some Walker's.
That smells like a Walker's.
Classic shortbread cookie, right there.
Yeah.
You ever had the Scotties, the Walker Scotties?
What are
it's
they?
just a shortbread cookie. Looks like a Scottish Terrier.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like my
I always
youngest.
bite the head off first.
Like you do.
Yeah.
My youngest did a advent calendar of Walker's shortbread cookies.
Oh.
Yeah, she did like 6 days of it. It was like, they all taste the same.
Yeah, they do. They're all the same.
She just gave up on them. I ate them all.
Like, what are they? Just different,
just different shapes? Yep. Absolutely.
What'd she expect? They're short.
She didn't know. She's 13.
Sure.
She's like, yeah, that sounds great. A bunch of cookies. They're all just the same thing. She's like,
just different shapes.
Fuck this. Stupid.
That sounds great to me, though.
All right. Whiskey first.
Yeah.
Jameson.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Smells like Jameson.
Smells like Jameson. A lot of banana.
Yeah, banana
Goodness
runt.
gracious.
Banana
Like,
runt.
Straight banana. Banana whiskey.
Legit. Yeah.
Smells like
just like a heavy banana
Smells like
note.
the Caribbean.
It smells like a banana rum is what it smells like.
Yeah.
But you do get the shortbread like nature, just like that, like subtle
a bread
sweet
pudding.
Yes. Yep. Subtle sweet.
Like a nanner pudding.
Man, I can't get banana on my face.
There's a lot of banana in that.
Man. All right.
It's been a hot minute since I've had just Jameson. But...
I'm gonna sippy sip.
All right.
Yeah. But the banana for me dissipates on the palate.
Yeah, there's not any banana.
No. And then you just get like beautiful Irish whiskey.
Yeah. Touch of shortbread.
Yeah.
Touch of barrel.
It's nothing to write home about.
Gone.
There's nothing challenging. It just drops you off a cliff. It's like, hey, here's your 40% Irish whiskey.
Man, like we always use Jameson as that somebody that wants to get into whiskey and
Yeah, I mean we just did.
How would you provide it to that person?
Cup your hands.
Like, would it just be neat? Just here, sip this.
Honestly,
because if you put this on the rocks, there's nothing there.
Yeah, if I'm honest, for someone who you've never had a whiskey drink ever,
right?
Jameson and ginger ale, like the classic pairing.
Good call.
Classic pairing. Jameson, ginger ale, a little bit of lime, good. Good.
Yeah.
If it's someone,
might be able to get some flavor out of that,
right? And you're not going to get a whole lot, but it's just going to be just ease you into it. If you're someone that no, I want to try a whiskey straight, I'm going to give you straight Jameson because it's not. It's still going to bite you because you're an initiate. We're way past that,
right?
So it's still going to give you a little bit of stuff, but it's not going to be I'm not throwing you into the deep end and expecting you to figure out barbecue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
So
it's a great shortbread cookie.
Oh, I haven't. You're way ahead of me, man. Holy crap. Okay. Actually, it is.
Yeah. That's a great shortbread cookie.
Standard, classic, vanilla.
I mean, for what these cookies are.
Yeah.
Aside from the Samoa, I feel like everything else is kind of they're all essentially this.
Yeah.
just with like
Flavor.
add-ons.
Yeah, agreed.
I feel like though this is like the best presentation.
I don't disagree.
Like just have the cookie, the biscuit,
Yeah.
as it is.
Sure.
You know.
I mean, biscuit, like you said, this is a classic English, European biscuit.
Yeah, for sure. And it's great, delicious.
Honestly, it pairs really well with the Jameson too, because it's basically the same flavor profile.
I feel like it just absolutely covers it right up and can't taste anything else.
I mixed the two in my mouth.
Yeah.
I took a bite, took a little sip of whiskey.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Swirled it a little bit.
Made a little concoction.
little slurry, little Girl Scout cookie slurry, and yeah, I'm fine with it. I don't dislike it. It's so similar. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's the tough thing.
It melds together.
Yeah. They're all the same.
Kyle just like poured a little bit of Jameson and chucked a shortbread cookie into the Jameson. How'd that work out for you?
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You get the beautiful shortbread cookie flavor.
Okay.
From the cookie
Yeah.
into the Jameson, which already tastes like shortbread cookie. But it's like it's amplified.
That's a good man. You might be onto something there.
Because I really might be.
Think
if you took a whole bunch of those
Yeah.
and like just kind of like soaked them.
Yeah. What's the what do you do with the
Be
lady
like a
fingers?
rum cake. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Tiramisu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. With
Irish
cream. Holy shit. Man, we just made an Irish tiramisu that would absolutely kick ass.
Listen, nobody take that idea. Like,
don't
I've
put
already,
that in. Don't put that in the episode.
No, well, okay. I'm going to try that. There's a listener of the show that's always interested in like new kind of like desserts and pairings. I might tell her that. I've got an idea. Like, you should try this.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
How's nobody thought of that?
We just did.
I know. That seems like it's like right there that surely at this point in time somebody should have thought of that.
I just want to point out, I don't think there's ever been crumbs in a Glencairn, and now there is. Man, I feel like that's a bit of it's a bit of a discredit to the Glencairn.
I'll take that one home and I'll bring you back in the room.
No, it's fine. I'll wash it out. It'll be all right. All right, you want to move on to our last one?
Last one.
All right, so
Yeah.
we're gonna end on the big boy.
Yeah, we
Okay.
are.
And we saved this for last for a very good reason.
All right, so yeah, I mean, if anything can cut through, it's going to be this guy.
It's going to be this. So this is the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye.
Man.
Yeah. This comes in at 128.6 proof, which is also why we've saved it to the last.
But it's also because
We're pairing it with what, Kyle?
it's the peanut butter patties or a tag-along.
I prefer a tag-along. Tag-along? Tag-along.
Tag-alongs.
Tag-alongs. Okay.
They're tag-alongs.
So what if I have one cookie?
Why would you think it'd be a tag-along?
It's a tag-along. wait. Isn't... No,
It
wait,
look
hold on.
like if you took one of
There's
your
a language.
logs
There's a language.
and
Oh,
sliced it up.
I think it's like the language of the like native Filipino. It's like the Tagalog.
Oh.
I might be making that up.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What does the Girl Scout cookie website say if I have a single tag-alongs? Do I say tag-alongs or tag-alongs? Tag-along.
Shit. I clicked details.
You done messed up. All
Go
right.
back. I can't even go back. Crispy cookies layered with peanut butter and covered with a chocolatey coating.
Okay, I love a tag-along.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can say that of the Girl Scout cookies purchased in my household, they were the tag-alongs.
Sure. Okay. My thought process...
I've had a tag-along. I had 3 the other morning just so I could throw away the thing.
That was
I didn't want it sitting on the counter anymore.
That was breakfast, wasn't it?
Like just yeet.
Yeah.
Ate them up and threw it away.
Coffee.
Yeah.
3 tag-alongs.
Done.
So my thought process was, if anything can cut through the peanut buttery chocolatey goodness of a tag-along, it's gonna be the single barrel proof rye.
Yeah. We said, we looked at what we had laid out. We said we should throw a rye in there for sure.
Yep.
You had a couple of varieties available.
Sure.
And you went for the big dog.
Yep.
Yep.
You ready?
Yeah. Appreciate you. Just for clarity's sake, can we say the proof one more time?
128.6.
Oh my god. Okay.
Gird your loins. Here we go.
Yep.
Tag along for you, sir.
Tag-alongs.
Tag alongs for you, sir. Tag alongs for me,
That's
sir.
the singular.
Tag along?
Singular tag-alongs. That's what he said. That's what he
Mouse
said.
and meese and mice and mooses.
That's beautiful.
What you get on the nose there?
Man, I'm getting like a really beautiful cherry note that I don't feel like I normally grab out of this.
Yeah. I'm getting like big bouquet of like rosemary.
Yeah.
And mint.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting all the normal rye. I think it's got to be like the Tennessee whiskey aspect of it, but it's
Definitely.
like throwing out this like bright red maraschino cherry at me.
I totally see that. You know those like rosemary Christmas trees they sell around Christmas?
Yeah, I still got one on my back porch.
That thing's
Still breathing. Still breathing, yeah.
No way.
I'm watering it. It's alive.
These things are crisp, but like the day you get it.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
It's not rosemary. It's not. It's some other. But it's in that same shape.
Same shape.
Like that.
It's like this isn't rosemary, but we want to convince you.
But we want
Don't
you to
put
buy
this
it
in your
still.
salad. Yeah, man. It's conjuring that for me.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
It's pretty is the right word.
Yeah, pretty and delicate, but like,
But
we'll slap you
rugged.
around
Yeah, I was
too.
gonna
You know?
say, like it's pretty and delicate, but like don't get too close.
Yeah, it's like it's
gonna punch you in the
Valentine's
throat.
Day. Like, slowly pulls out the whip.
That took a
Oh,
turn.
shit.
That is not.
Here we
what-
go.
that is
Here
not-
we go. I'm ready.
That is not what I expected.
Oh my god.
That's funny. Not where I thought you were going. Wow. you don't do that very often, but wow. Okay.
Ow.
All right. I'm going in. Jeez. Woo. Woo. That thing is punchy.
Yeah, like that's really like that's the takeaway from all of this
Yeah.
for me is like,
Whew.
if you're gonna eat cookies with whiskey, you gotta have something strong enough
To cut it.
to slap that cookie around.
Well, that's strong enough to slap that cookie around.
Whew. Man, that is so rich and so flavorful. Has such a depth to it.
Yeah. Wow.
Man.
All right. I'm going to take a bite of this cookie. I think we might be onto something. Like just going to the cookie, there might be something there.
Man, you said it at some point in time. I don't remember where. But when you said it, I was at this pairing
Yeah.
of like, I think this is actually going to work really well. Because we've got a cookie here that's got a good amount of peanut butter.
Yeah.
Like nice, rich, salty peanut butter.
Yeah.
And we've got just kind of, the rest of the cookie is kind of like just generic, sweet,
Sure.
chocolatey, stuff. But you pair that with a high proof rye
Yep.
that is completely different. So both of these things produce flavors that are at a 10 on the scale.
Easy.
But they're separate.
Yeah.
So each one has room to breathe.
But in this case, they're not fighting.
No. But they're just able to both exist.
Totally.
And that's brilliant.
Dang.
Like I kind of thought about it of like, I don't think you put the thing that it's known for with the flavors that it's known for.
Correct.
I think that's going to create a weird imbalance. But this, because like they're both maxed out on flavors that are different from each other.
Sure.
They can both just exist.
Yeah.
And make,
So maybe
make
you do
beautiful,
pair
passionate.
barbecue with something. Passionate what? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Man, all right. I got half a cookie.
That's incredible. That's it, man.
Wow. Oh, we didn't say what the rating for the Jameson and the other one was.
As it was
Yeah.
a pairing,
Yeah.
I'd give it like that same like 2.5.
I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna say
But
2.
cookie in the drink,
Yeah.
3.5.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, that was
okay.
great.
So for me, with this pairing, out of 5, I'm gonna say a 6.
Yeah, this is
Like,
fantastic.
wow. It totally works. And like in my mind, when we were putting this together, I'm like, that's gonna be it. Because you got a sweet, peanut buttery, rich cookie, and then you're gonna throw this rye at it that is like diametrically opposed.
Right.
And it's got enough proof to like cut through all of that sweet. Man.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
Lorelei's favorite food,
Yeah.
basically at this point in time, is a peanut butter and honey.
Oh, love the peanut butter and honey.
on dark pumpernickel.
Totally. Girl
We
after
call
my
it
own heart.
Peanut butter and honey on a dark pump.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
I love that.
That's what this is.
Absolutely what it is. I love,
Incredible.
man, girl after my own heart.
Yeah.
Because I love that. Like a deep pumpernickel or like a bold seeded rye. Oh, hell yeah. You're right. That's exactly what this is.
It makes me wonder, is that the process of pairing? Do you try to find that balance
Yep.
in things?
Sure.
Is that why white wine gets paired with chicken and fish so much?
Sure.
But why?
I think it's because, like, first of all, like, white wine is really like crisp.
Sure.
Normally you serve white wine chilled. And white wine,
it's more fruity.
It's more fruity, so it's also like
dry.
Right. Normally, like the flavors of a chicken or a fish are gonna be not as like big and bold
Pungent.
and need something to cut through it.
Right.
Whereas, like, if you serve a red wine with a chicken, it's just gonna like mask that chicken.
Right. It's too much.
Right. So you want something, like you just said, you want something to complement it. So we're gonna serve this light wine with a lighter meat because the light wine is going to accentuate the flavors of the meat.
Right.
But I think this is almost opposite. This is, okay, you've got a bold cookie.
Right.
You need a bold thing. So it's more along like...
It's balance.
Right.
Yeah.
You need more like the red wine, like a Malbec, which is an Argentinian, like bold wine, and pair that with like some like big hunk of meat. Because like those things are going to pair well together to cut one another. And I think that's what you got going on here. Is you've got this like really sweet chocolatey peanut buttery thing. Let's throw something at 128 at it.
Right.
Let's throw something at it. Correct. let's throw something at it with a ton of flavor, and like we've ramped it up because of the proof. Absolutely.
Right.
Man, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to be the guys that like, no, we ended on the high note. Didn't necessarily plan it that way, but like definitely ended on the high note.
That worked.
Wow.
That worked so much better.
That is great.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like that is like the big takeaway is that you do need big, bold flavors
Sure.
to combat a cookie.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's just like also how your palate reacts to those things. Because like when you think about the liquid is going to, maybe exude. It's a different way that your palate interacts with it, I guess. Like your palate's going to interact with a liquid different than it is a solid. And so now, and I think that's where you get, when you chuck that cookie in the glencairn, rest in peace, glencairn. Or at least
He'll
that
be okay.
I don't know if
right.
no, he's gone. He's gone. Don't worry, we got backups. Because now you've saturated that cookie, you've changed the composition a little bit, which makes it slightly more liquid.
I feel like you should try it. We don't have
We don't have another cookie though. That's okay. That's fine. Well, overall though, fantastic. Like this is an experiment.
Really fun idea.
Yeah,
absolutely. It is.
Thank you. Yeah.
Incredible. Like, it is complement and balance the same thing?
No, I don't think so.
I don't either.
I don't think so. Because I think like complement. Ooh, I mean maybe it's semantics.
I don't think it's semantics, but it's an important takeaway. Like you can definitely balance it. Like I think you could take something that has like if we took the shortbread cookie.
Yeah, the trefoil.
The
trefoil.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
God, lame.
Yeah.
If you took that cookie and then, maybe if we put that against Blue Spot.
Sure.
Maybe if you upped the thing.
Correct. And it balances.
And it balanced
right,
it. Maybe
right.
the flavors would still come through.
Sure.
But I still don't think it would meet the complementary aspect.
Whereas the complement would be the single barrel proof rye.
Right. Because it was so different.
Correct.
But it's had the same strength.
Agreed completely. Agreed completely.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like looking at that thing of, okay, do I want, what do I want to accent out of both of these? Because like with the Buffalo Trace and the Adventureful, like you're in the ballpark and it's not one way enough or the other to really like, whoa.
Right.
The Adventureful opens up the Buffalo Trace, or the Buffalo Trace opens up the Adventureful. It doesn't work that way.
It's like you got to get the balance right first.
Sure.
And then once you got the balance right, you can then play on that scale of complementary versus.
Yeah. So in that case, like I almost wish then we did pair Lafroig with the Thin Mint.
Yeah.
Because like you got something just
that might have been super
it
interesting.
Is punchy. Like Lafroig that's a difficult scotch for even like your peaty lovers.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that would then give you that compliment.
Right.
And I'm almost, not that I don't think the balance is interesting, but I'm more interested in the compliment. How do these things, work both against each other and now kind of with each other?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, fantastic.
It's super nerdy.
Yeah.
That's great stuff.
I love it. I love
me
it.
too.
And I'm excited to do more things like that too. Because like I think that there are ways to do this, and there are ways to put these things together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I don't think it really happens that much.
No.
At least not that I see it.
Not that I see. So we'll have to do some sort of series like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you got anything else?
I don't think so. How about you?
Well, we do have more whiskey.
How many more cookies you got?
No cookies.
That's so weird.
Well,
You got 2 of each cookie.
Yeah. Well, it's what we were provided by our friends.
We do appreciate that.
We do appreciate our friends. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolute.
Well, we'd love to know, what do you think about a Girl Scout cookie and whiskey pairing?
It's that time of year. You should really give it a shot.
Definitely.
And let us know where we got it wrong.
And we want to know what we should have done. Like, what were your thoughts of this? I mean, everyone's had a Girl Scout cookie or 3 packages
Right.
for breakfast. So, like, what do you think in your whiskey journey and the things that you've tried, what makes sense in terms of a pairing for you?
Yeah. Where's that perfect combination of balance and complementary?
Ooh, balance and compliment. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, you can get in touch with us through email. It's drepandstone@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us through social media.
It's always one word, Drep and Stone. DREP and Stone. Come find us where you socialize your media, and we'll be socializing some of ours right back at you.
Oh, yeah. Sounds great. And we'd love it if you support the podcast. You can do so through our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/drepandstone. Keeps the lights on, keeps the recording machine recording, keeps the Girl Scout cookies getting bought.
Hell yeah.
Except in this house where we...
Keeps the Girl Scouts a-scouting.
Oh, yeah. Why not? You can also support the podcast by rating Drep and Stone wherever it is you find great podcasts like this one. And finally, Kyle...
Sir?
You can support the podcast by telling someone about Drep and Stone.
Yeah, just, let somebody know.
Well, I figure you take a folding table and you put it outside of a major grocery chain.
Sure.
Or, just on the street.
Like a Bupplix.
Right? You take a tent, if you will, or maybe not. You create a sign, make sure it's handmade.
Right.
And you just, put a couple Drep and Stone stickers or something out there.
Copy our logo.
Why not? I mean,
Or like, hell,
sure.
email us. We'll send you a sticker.
We'll send you a couple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? And just yell at people as they walk out of the grocery store.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I actually do that quite a lot.
Hey. I see you got your BOGOs.
I do, yeah.
Did you listen to Drep and Stone today?
What exactly is that?
Yeah, it's a podcast. They have excellent content about whiskey and literally talking about anything else that you have any interest in.
I have a lot of interests.
Yeah, well, I bet they've talked about some of them.
Really?
Yeah, give me one.
I like...
They did it. I swear they did. So, yeah, go give them a listen. You're going to really love it.
Okay. Can I scan that QR code?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
That's why I got it here.
Oh, a hug or high five?
Cookie. Just happen to have some. There you go.
Did you just take it out of your pocket?
Hell yeah, dude.
I was wondering why it was warm. Thank you.
It's one of the shortbread ones. It's fine.
It's still warm.
Yeah, better.
All right. Have a great day.
You too, buddy.
All right. Say bye.
Yeah, bye.
It's that easy.
I know, right? Incredible.
Like, who wouldn't want an experience like that?
Yeah, just an absolutely moment of pure joy.
That's all I know.
Matching complementary balance with another person.
Agreed.
Yeah.
On that note, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
May your glass ever flow.
And your ass never show. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Hey, real quick, listeners of the show will notice that sounds
That
different.
was a little bit better tone.
Yeah.
Like more pure, if you will.
Yeah. And you'll hear more why in next week's episode.
It's something to look forward to.
There it is.
Teaser. Thon.
John Jameson and Thon.
Jameson Thon.
You know,
Again, that's not the way social media or pop culture makes them look. They're all crazy.
Well, I was going to leave that in. Now I got to take it out. It's kind of awful.
Yeah, it smells like leather, and that was going to be my joke. I thought like a fruity Highland, and then we looked at your whiskey shelf. You got any of them? It's all peat.
We listen. Use that one. Mine's dirty because I'm not going to put the Islay Barley in a dirty glass like you. I'm not a heater. Yes.
Not like the most disappointing thing ever.
What, Trefoil?
I just literally just had that of we've gone through Breath of the Wild and
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, and you never really dealt with the Triforce.
Nah, no Triforce there. It sounded like what's his face?
A bit of a Muppet kind of a voice.
Yeah, I was talking about the quarterback. What's his name? Sounds like a Muppet.
Mahomes.
Yeah. Yeah, no Triforce there.
I wonder why they did that.
I don't know.
That's like iconic.
Yeah.
Why was there no way to pull that in? But it doesn't.
It do not. No, sir. No, sir, no.
Woo!
Do you think it sounds different?
So much better.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I got to change my shorts. Holy shit.
Man. I got to get some tape. I need to mark that chair.
It's Nick's now.
That's Nick's chair now.